SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.
Wonderful viewers around the world, you are welcome. You're welcome to SSM Wednesday Global Africa Update. My name is Godwin Iweajunwa, and I'm here with my colleagues from different parts of the world. In Lagos, Nigeria is the Diva. We've missed you for long, Diva. Bidi Nana, how are you this morning?
I'm all right. Massive man, good morning. Good morning, our viewers all around the world. Thanks for having us again today. Let's do it like always.
Let's do it like always. I know you had wonderful time with your event. You had that special event, the Business Summit. We'll give us some highlights to it when we come. So let's bring in also far away Toronto, Canada, Sir George Chukwu. Sir George, good day to you. We don't know if it's midnight or afternoon or morning. What's it there now?
It's very early in the morning. Good morning, Mark Godwin and Bidi Nana, our Diva. It is so good to have you here. Don't you see the smile on my face? Well, viewers from around the world, we want to welcome you to our Wednesday show.
George, please hang tight there. You're giving us update from your corner. But before we move on, it's a full house today. Great men and women with us today. Viewers, we have Olayinka Raji from Lagos, Nigeria. Olayinka Raji, we need you today. Today is vital for your information. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, BD. Good morning, Sir George. Good morning, viewers around the world.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm really glad to be here again today.
By the way, are you back in Ghana? Because you're looking fresher now than ever. What is going? Are you back in Ghana?
The anointing is still on.
That's not fresh.
Oh, believe me, there was a complete, distinct difference between when he was in Ghana and when he came to Nigeria. His wrinkles came back. When he was in Ghana, he was so fresh like now. Look at him now, he's so fresh.
You're welcome. Gentlemen, lady, you are welcome. It's a beautiful Wednesday out here in Milan, Italy. Now, as we say, viewers, it is we are here to put out our various insights on happenings around the world. Let's begin with the fuel situation back home. We can't say if we're not in at home situation. George, me and you were far away, but we were adding our voice. Donkor came up yesterday again and said, "Stop importing fuel. Stop doing whatever you're doing. Come and collect my own fuel." This is Donkor to NNPC oil marketers. There's even a clip to that. George, let me start with you before we play the clip. Is a deliberate sabotage to make this man refine fuel and just leave it there in his tank? George, tell us.
Well, you see, this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to having solutions to our problem in our country. Okay. Most of the time, the solution is right there looking at us. But because of this insidious kind of ways of thinking, we seem to sabotage ourselves because we don't care about the people. Really, we do not care about the people. Tell me something. You have the greatest refinery in the whole entire world today until another one comes to beat him. he's able to refine the crude oil and give us answer to the questions we've been clamoring for years, exporting our crude, refine it and bring it back. Now, all of a sudden, here we are with the proper solution to our problem right there in our own presence, and then we're sabotaging it. So tell me the reason why NNPC should not be a friend of Dangote. Tell me one reason why they should not be. Is it because the refinery is closing the gaps from where they are chopping money? Is that it? Because I'm asking questions. There is absolutely no reason why all the retailers should not be going to Dangote to get their own crude, the refined crude oil, and we have the very best Bonny Light, of which if they import from other countries, it might be a little cheaper, a little cheaper kind of fuel, or a low quality type of fuel that is refined and is being brought back. Is that the reason? Because they're going to make more money with a cheaper fuel when they bring it back to our country? So it doesn't really make any sense. This man is crying out, and he's been crying out that there has been a systemic problem in our country regarding his ideology in bringing the answers to our problem. Look at people lining up in the gas stations while the fuel is right there. He's refined it. Come take it and sell and make your money. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Okay.
How can we have a president who is talking about renewed hope when the answers are right there? He will not rise up in his executive power to command the whole entire nation. Listen, here is a refinery. You've been crying about fuel. Go get your fuel over there, sell it to the people at a very reasonable price. Unless it's part of the problem.
Yes, we are here out of the country. Let's hear from those inside. I wanted us to first of all here. Sorry, there's a background noise coming from somebody. I don't know who that could be. Yes. I hope you guys can hear me now. Raji, I hope it's not your end that we have that background noise. But before we come in, let's hear it directly. Let's hear the
producers. I have a refinery. I'm not in the business of retail. If I'm in the business of retail, then you hold me responsible. But what I'm saying is that the retailers should please come forward and pick. If they don't come forward and pick, what do you want me to do? That's nothing that I can do. So I am expecting either NNPC or the marketers to stop importing. They should come and collect. We have what they need. And, as they remove, I'll be pumping. I don't know whether you understand what it takes to keep 500 million liters inside our tank. It's costing me money. Every day, if I will be able to collect the naira, I can actually charge somebody 32% in interest. So right now, that's what I'm losing. And you are talking about 500 billion. We don't print money, but the issue is that if they come and collect, then you will not see any queues in the filling stations. We have what it takes for them to come and collect. We are not retailers. We also don't have trucks to send. We have a factory where we can load. If they come and pick, they will go and distribute. And they've been doing that with importation. So if they've been doing that with importation, if it's true they are doing 55 million, I see no reason why they won't come and collect our own and distribute.
Yes, gentlemen, BD, tell us what's the true situation. What is it like there in Lagos, Nigeria, with this? What Aliko Dangote has said.
Yeah, Aliko Dangote actually said. He said that his refinery can actually produce 30 million liters for Nigerians on a daily basis. And he's calling Nigerians to come and take fuel from his refinery. But from all indication, it's obvious that they don't want to go take from Dangote. And that's the question Nigerians should be asking. Why are they refusing to go take fuel from Dangote? About early last month, there's a document that surfaced when Dangote is suing Nigerian for importing fuel. And when he was confronted, he said that was last year before he said, but we know that they were lying with that. Now, if you're in Lagos, you notice that the tanker driver that used to block the expressway from Oshodi, Bagada to Apapa, that Nigerian Lagos state government gave them order last year to move. They left. They are back now. And why are they back? It's because they are queuing to get fuel, because all the tanker fuel in Nigeria, about 95% of them are in Apapa. So if you come to Lagos now, from Oshodi to Apapa, the road is blocked. They have blocked that road. The tanker driver, they have blocked it. The queue is even affecting motor users. Now, the question we should be asking, why is it that there is fuel in Ibejuleki, Lekki Free Zone, Dangote, and they are queuing here to get fuel? That's the question we should be asking. And now, based on what the petroleum marketers have said earlier, they said they fear that Dangote is having intention to monopolize this market. You know, the problem we have in this part of Nigeria is that we don't say the truth. Because if we are the kind of people that say the truth, we will be able to know how we will tackle some issues. They say that Dangote is about to colonize the petroleum industry, the way he has done to the sugar, flour, and spaghetti. That's what he's intending to do. Now, even if he wants to do that, and another thing me I'm suspecting is this: these oil marketers don't want to buy to Dangote, so that they can keep exploiting Nigerians, because when they buy from Dangote, Nigerians will know how much they bought and they expect how much they should sell. But because they don't want that accountability, they prefer to be importing, because when they import, they can come and tell you any price and sell any price. You won't be able to, to ask or demand for any explanation, because you don't even know what they are telling you. So that's what, that's what I think is going on in Nigeria now, because there's fuel in Nigeria and people are killed. As I tell you now, yesterday, I suffered yesterday because I was telling my sister, how can I come and queue to buy fuel 1,200, 1,300? I don't like it. If I'm queuing to buy fuel 300 or 400, but to queue for 3-4 hours, after queuing, I will come and buy fuel for 1,300, 200. I don't. My car is parked. I don't even have fuel.
Your car is parked. You don't even have fuel. Viewers, you're listening to our updates on this whole situation. Reggie, there's something I know, and that is, gentlemen, listen to this. When you go into contract with some of these Western nations, like we do with our fuel, we send it out to be refined. Those contracts are not something you abruptly stop. Pam! So maybe the federal government have gone into all these contracts with some countries to refine our fuel, and it's a long-term contract. I mean, government should explain what is happening, because this man can be doing this and they are still taking this thing out. But maybe it's a contract they have that has to expire before they can come back to Dangote. Raju, what do you think?
I think BD has put everything very, very clear. As for long-term contracts, it will be a very stupid country to go into a contract that will tie its hands down for too long. You are the supplier of the oil. You can decide that the contract will be for so long, because you are the one supplying the oil, and you are the one doing this direct sale, direct purchase thing. So if there's a refinery that is coming up, because if NNPC themselves have said that their refineries will have been operational by 2023. So a long-term contract should not apply at this point. Should not be a problem at this point. But another problem that I can see is that because we have been importing fuel for too long, there have been so much investment in petrol farms all around Atlas Cove and all around Apapa, expecting fuel to be imported and then to be pumped into those farms. Those farms are now obsolete, are now redundant because we don't have to import fuel. So I think it's one of the reasons why even the NNPC refineries have not come up, because of vested interests who have invested billions of naira, of stolen naira, into petrol camps all around Apapa. If we stop importing, those fuel dumps will be redundant, and that will be a waste of investment. Yes. So I don't know what's I don't know. Yes.
Okay. So the businessman has highlighted the financial burden this is holding on him. He says, I don't know whether you understand what it is to have billions of liters of oil inside our tank. George, is there anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, because this is what you call pure wickedness. The heart is so deceitful and so wicked. I just don't get it. People are coming up and saying, oh, he wants to hijack, the petroleum industry. He wants to take over, monopolize it. How can he be trying to monopolize it when the government has been playing games with the citizens regarding the refineries that are in Kaduna, or the one that is in Port Harcourt, or the one that is in Warri? What is going on? We're spending billions of naira trying to revive something that has not been, we haven't had any answers. All we hear is promises, and none of them is being fulfilled. People are dying and suffering daily. And then you talking about him trying to monopolize, crude oil industry, while the government is playing games with the people regarding, these refineries. I mean, come on. What is the answer to your question? The man is crying out. Okay, I built one here. Come, take your oil, sell it locally. Let the you know what? If I was in Tinubu's situation, if I was in his position, I will use my executive power to mandate some things, unless him being the petroleum minister also, that the emergence of Dangote's refinery is cutting into whatever they have been doing with our central bank subsidies and all those type of things. Something is going on that the people do not understand, and they're refusing to tell us. Why would NNPC stay right there and doing all these evil things that they are doing, that is so blatant in the eyes of the people, and the president is hands are folded? Unless there is something they're hiding, they don't want the nations to to understand. Unless they are still fueling this poverty mentality and poverty system, so that people will become so deplorable. Whenever they throw crumbs on the ground, people will start crying, jumping up and down. That's exactly what we are seeing here. Because you cannot tell me that this man who negotiated, because I can guarantee you he was just thanked by Biden. We're going to talk about it later. What happened with the charges against this this Binance guy? What happened to it? All of a sudden the charges are disappeared. All of a sudden, internationally he's being called to thank him for releasing, to throw away the charges. Something is going on, man. Something is going on. We need to really come to terms with exactly the truth on the ground and find out who is manipulating the situations. And I don't think, with all due respect, our president, sir, you need to be transparent regarding NNPC, regarding the sufferings of Nigerians and the solutions to it, which Dangote is part of the solution. So we need to come up with let's find out exactly what is going on, because something is not right somewhere.
Let's find out exactly what's going on. BD, go ahead. You were going to say something. Yes.
Yeah, I want to answer Mr. George a little. Now, what is going on? You're saying that the president's supposed to use his executive order and make some statements. Remember, president is into the business of oil. Remember, he was called out for owning the refinery in Malta. Refinery in Malta, Nigerians sells to them, and they sell to Nigeria. So that is business. Secondly, Dangote is now begging Nigerians to come and buy, come and take fuel from him. They have more than enough for Nigerians. When he lost it was when he allowed Nigerian government to be the one to fix the price of his fuel. If Dangote was allowed to fix the price of his PMs, do you understand? That is when he would have that power to crash the price. But he can't sell more than what the Nigerian government is telling him to sell. That was where he started getting it wrong. But because all of them are just interested in exploiting Nigerians, so it's always, it's always a problem. At a time it becomes a problem for them. They are all out to exploit Nigerians. All is in the business. They don't care the life of an average Nigerian. So that is why they're like in a web now.
In a web, caught up in the web. Raji,
but isn't this part of the equation whereby we are selling crude oil to Dangote in naira, that he may be able to produce it at a cheaper rate and sell it back to the people at a cheaper rate? Because I don't understand all the intricacies behind this whole entire thing. Is mind-boggling. Think about it for one moment. Subsidy is gone, they claim, and yet they're still paying subsidy. And while they're still paying that subsidy, secretly, the price of fuel had quadrupled. How is that possible?
How is that possible?
Because these are oxymoron. I don't understand it. How is it that you say you're not paying subsidy anymore, but when you go to the analysis of the whole entire equation, you're still paying subsidy, but yet the price of our refined fuel has quadrupled and still remaining there, and it's even going higher.
So
how is that possible?
Raji, go ahead. Raji, you were going to say something. Go ahead, Raji.
Somebody made a post that the government is doing business with the people, and is looking at the citizens as customers, and therefore, as much as they can squeeze out of the customers is what the government is doing. The government is just doing business with us. And then the wickedness and the indecency in the government is that is weaponizing poverty, reducing Nigerians to the barest minimum.
To the barest minimum.
Will not even have the voice to shout out.
Yes. All right, gentlemen. Gentlemen, take note of what BD had, some of the focal points she put out. It's alleged that Tinubu, the family of Tinubu, has hand in the grinder in Malta. So obviously, George, if I have a business that is similar to somebody next to me, I mean, my business has to continue. I asked the question earlier of contracts, conceptual contracts between countries on this refining thing. So maybe those are some of those factors affecting these people from not coming to Dangote for now. So all adds up to the fact that Dangote also needs to do some background check, understand this market this business very well, so that he doesn't run at loss. Viewers,
can I say something? Can I say something? Dangote understands the business, but I think he is being stifled from saying some of the things that he knows. Now let me tell you something. If Asiwaju's family is involved in Malta refinery, that is a conflict of interest, and Nigeria needs to investigate that thoroughly to understand. Because if he is a petroleum minister in Nigeria, and the executive president of Nigeria, and he has a Malta refinery that they ship crude oil to. Okay, who is selling that crude oil to Malta refinery? Do we know how much is being paid in that? These are the things we really need to look into, honestly speaking, because it's a little bit, it's delicate, but it's very dicey, especially for the welfare of our country.
When the allegation came out, it was played down. The press, everybody stopped talking about it all of a sudden. But the investigation from this end is that it's true. There's a percentage of stake the company has in the Malta grinder. It's a grinder there, not a refinery. Gentlemen, let's move on to the update. There's the update on the power-drunk House of Rep. Honorable Alex Ikwechi, I don't know how you pronounce that, BD, let's hear from you. Yesterday we saw that he was taken in by the police. Yesterday we also saw him giving an apology address. But what for us here, in the West, there's something they do when people give speech. They read the body language. The body language of his apology address didn't show remorse. It rather showed more arrogance, more ego being bloated. But BD, tell us what's happening. What's the new latest on these power drunk honorable?
Yeah, the Honorable Alex Ikweche, who assaulted a truck driver that came to deliver something to him. And now the problem with Nigeria is not just abusing or assaulting the guy, but the kind of words he used. He said he will make him disappear and nothing will happen. Do you understand? He will make him disappear and nothing will happen. Now, a lot of Nigerians saying, this is not the first time we are seeing this kind of a thing. It happens in Nigeria every time. We elect these people into power to serve us, and they will turn us, will become their slaves. And not just becoming their slaves, they will humanize us, they will demean us, and make us look like we are not worth existing. Do you understand? This guy, why this truck driver is having cases? Because he didn't collect his phone. We've had cases in Nigeria where all these honorable people, they will bring their police, they will arrest the person, and they'll collect the person's phone. And it will be their word against the person. The person doesn't have anything to prove because he didn't know that this guy would go that far. He thought the guy was just joking with him. A lot of honorable members in Nigeria do this thing. And now the Abga in Abia have, sanctioned him, said that they are not in support of what he did, and they are still investigating. Now, that's where I have problem with Nigerians. In a Western world, when something happens, they are looking for video evidence, audio evidence. But Nigeria is the only country where you will tender a video and audio evidence. They will still be telling you they want to investigate. I don't know what they want to investigate again. Now, this guy has come out to say he's apologizing. He's not apologizing anything, just because he has been exposed. I'm telling you, he's not remorse about what he did. A lot of honorable members are doing this in Nigeria. Honestly, if you ask me for my candid advice, I wish they would use this guy to set an example, to set a signal to other honorable members, because the way they treat Nigerians, I am telling you, once they assume that their office, these are people who are supposed to serve us, speak on our behalf. They treat us as if we don't want anything. I don't think, we are not saying he should be sacked. Nigerians are not asking, but he should be taught a lesson, not just for him alone, so that others will learn. Because a lot of them, you see, our honorable members, our senators, this is how they behave. I am telling you, this is how.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you, BD. BD, thank you. Yes, George.
First and foremost, we have no right whatsoever to say whether this man means his apology or not, because you're not inside of him. You don't know what he's going through. You don't know his stupidity came out openly. So if he's apologizing, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. We should not condemn him. When his apology was robust, it was clean, it was clear. He apologized. Nobody sanctioned what he did. We still condemn it to the fullest. But to say that he is not sincere, that is a judgment that should not come from here, because we don't know the person. You don't know what he's going through. You don't know who's called him. You don't know what kind of trouble he might be facing, to make him to bring that apology. So if he's apologizing publicly, let's accept the apology. Now let the law take place and do what the law is supposed to do. So because I don't want to come up in here and start, trying to, determine his psychological state, whether he's this or whether he's not that. He apologized, and that should be what we as the public people have taken, and let the law, take its process and do what they're supposed to do.
Thank you, George. Straight up. Raji, why BD will come to you. Let Raji speak. Why we are also emphasizing on this at this point in time is because the country is tensed up, George. The country is tensed up. A lot of these things happen and we play down. And these are some of the root causes of our problem. So if this guy could be like a scapegoat, yes, so that other politicians can begin to learn that this is not how you treat people. Raju, what do you think?
Yeah, you see, I agree with both speakers. While we may not read meaning to his remorse, whether it was remorseful or not, we should not also want to try to find justification for his actions. What he did was right, was wrong. Let the law take its course. All this we are going to investigate. We are going to investigate. It's just trying to split hairs. The man has come out to apologize. Body language shows a lot. So if there's any punishment due to him, let that go on. But then BD keeps on calling them honorable members. Most of them have no honor at all. So I think they don't deserve that title. No.
Now,
Honorable
can I
members.
speak now?
Yes. Okay,
Can
go
I
ahead,
speak now?
BD. Go ahead.
There's this attitude that has actually made us to behave like animals in this part of the world. Each time we keep coming up with, oh, you don't know what the person is going through. You don't know his state of mind. And people use that to be committing a lot of crime. And a popular Ogene musician was killed in Enugu State 2 days ago.
Yes.
Nigerian police invited him to come and play for them. He finished playing. They invited him from a barrier where he wanted to play. He finished playing, he was there. He played for them without them paying him a dime. He played for them for free. He said he wants to go. They said no. And an Inspector General of Police, Nigerian police, shot him 8 times from the back. And he said it's accidental discharge. It's still in that manner of, you don't know what, we find a way of justifying evil in this part of the world. See, let me tell you, if that guy did not record that thing, if that man did not, that's what I've seen it. I work for all these honorable members and senators, I work for them. If that man had set his police officer, they were not around then, they would collect that fund from that guy. This guy wouldn't have half case. We are not saying they should dismiss him, but they should see. We are media people. When people is talking, you can deduct what the person is saying from the person, the way the person speaks and the person's body language. That guy, it is our culture. Hey, just say sorry now. He never finished. Hasn't he said sorry? Do you understand? And saying sorry does not mean the person mean it. He should pay for what he has done to teach others to listen.
Yes, normally, BD, this situation also warrants the Bolt driver to be compensated in the normal sense, because he ran him through some real dirty assault. I mean, hitting him, big bro. Look at you, I can make you disappear. Then the other thing we're saying about the sentence disappear is how many of this kind of thing has happened, and this guy probably had made people disappear and nobody has stopped, because he seems to have a way of making people disappear and nobody knows about it. So they need to, apart from this case, they need to also dive in. Let's go check this guy's backyard of his house. Maybe there are some dead bodies there. That's what happens in most cases. Maybe he has made people disappear. And nobody knows about it. So, George, you see, the country is tense. People are angry. People are hungry. People are. I mean, you don't bring this, because these are the same people that adds up to the tense situation in our country. So we should allow them to continue doing this to us, push us to the wall, frustrate us, make us like we're nothing, when we all own the country. We're all part of Nigeria. So nobody is less, nobody is higher. Thank you.
Well, you can also tell that he's changed his religion. So when his father is telling him to do some things, what do you expect him to do?
Okay. There is a picture of the Igbo traditional musician BD was talking about, and that's the trigger happy. They're always happy, trigger happy. The accidental discharge, they call it, and they just take somebody's life away like that.
Well, the person who shot him ought to go to court, and if he's found guilty, he needs to be sentenced to jail.
That's it.
It doesn't matter. Yes.
Thank you.
Clear mother.
All right, guys. Let's go. Let's go on a short break.
It's okay.
Yes, we'll be back. Thank you.
In a world where news flies around every minute, We need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerian soul are proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.
Yes, you're welcome back, gentlemen. Welcome back, viewers. SSM Wednesday Global Africa update. George, thank you for being around, taking that early morning pain to be here. BD, thank you. Long. Before we go into the next topic, let's talk about this situation in Raji. Let's talk about what is happening in Ghana. Let's come to some other African country. Yes, Raji, I hope you have that update. There's a pathetic occurrence in Ghana, and that's our closest brother, closest sister country. So whatever happens there also affects Nigeria somehow. We know Ghana is going towards the poll, is going for the poll by December, and you have different parties, but we know there are two major parties. So, but one of those other party is the Ghana Freedom Party, JFP, and it has a very interesting woman as its founder. Somebody that has not been to the walls of education, but she was able to pull up. You know, she's done well in her business as a farmer, and now she's also a politician. But sadly, she passed on Tuesday, early hours of Tuesday. Raji, what happened? What did you people do to Akua, Donkor? Akua Donkor. What did Raji? What do you know about Akua Donkor's death?
Well, first, my condolences to her family. She was a great man, a great lady. She was able to bring herself up from, and then you see that she was imbued with serious political acumen, and that she was really interested in the progress of her people. My condolences to her. It's a pity that she died so soon. I'm not so sure about the circumstances of her death, but I hope that it is natural, and that there was no hanky-panky in her death.
Okay, yes, there was no hanky-panky. Thank you. Viewers, that's a picture of the lady there, Akua Donkor, the founder of the Ghana Freedom Party. BD, I hope you're there now. George, when we see things like this, it doesn't discourage us. A woman from nowhere, know much about her academics and all that, but she pulled through. And do you know something? She was getting the attention of the people. The people were really loving her. Now, what I saw from that was probably Ghana was heading to having the first West African female president, you know, and all of a sudden the hope were dashed. What do you think, George?
Well, it tells you that education, going to university, is not where all the education comes from. There are some what I will call educated derelicts. You know, they went to school, they passed their exams, they got their degrees, but they're not enlightened. And many of them cannot achieve what this woman without education had achieved in Ghana. It is very sad that she passed so young. I wish she would have been around, but you could tell that she's a superwoman, a powerful force to be reckoned with. You know, with the kind of inroads she's made into the political landscape in Ghana, you know, is very, very admirable. So I really extend my condolences to the family for such a powerful force to have exited so early. And I wish she had lived a little longer to see some of her dreams come true.
Oh dear, thank you, George. Powerful words there. Last time, gentlemen, BD, I hope you're okay now. We were talking about the new Commonwealth General Secretary, who is also from Ghana, Shelley. And now we see all these women pulling up, coming to the global stage. BD, how do you feel with the passing away? First of all, how you weren't here on Monday. That's Shelley there on the screen, the new Commonwealth General Secretary. What will you say about her, BD?
Well, each time I see women, you know, getting in the top position, it makes me happy and it gives me hope. And it motivates me more. And it not just me. I wish it would do to other women what it does to me, because when I see these women, it makes me happy, it gives me hope, and it encourages me to keep pushing. And I believe that a lot of women would look up to them and drive more. Now, coming to the woman that died, you see, you talked about education. Education, I've come to realize that education does two things to people. And what is education? Education opens you up to more opportunity. That's what education does to us. Do you understand? What the most important thing, it is you yourself. The boldness, the courage to persevere and to go, it is what makes the difference. You might have the education, if you don't have that boldness, that courage, you might not make any change in your life. And that is why you see women like this, what they have is boldness, the courage, they have it. Even without the education, if this kind of woman could tell you what she has gone through in the hands of those professors who will want to several times talk down at her, do you understand? Demean her just because they don't have the certificate. But this kind of women something will not deter her. When I see them, it's not just for me, it's for, I believe that I wish that African women could look at this woman and say, if this woman can do it, me too, I can do it. They are a source of motivation to African women who want to be motivated, who want to be lifted. Now, another thing is this. They said nothing happened to her. Who will ask? Who will tell us? Mm-hmm. It shows you how Africans are still. Do you understand? Because we are quick to get frightened, more especially when it's coming from the opposite sex. Yes, that's the truth. When an opposite sex, we have not grown to that. In Africa, is doing what, in Africa, our mindset, they are a place for a woman. It just maybe few of you who have traveled, who have left the shores of Nigeria will understand that everybody can play the open field. But in Africa, many of us believe that there is a place a woman belongs. And when you want to cross that place, it becomes a very big threat to us.
Thank you very much, Bishop. Yes. Also, update on that is that the Electoral Commission of Ghana has officially also directed that they nominate a new presidential candidate for that party, GFP. And they are saying that if they don't do that before I think this week or so, next month, that probably the party's presidential nominee on the ballot paper will be taken off. So, Raji, put an eye on this whole thing. I think the best thing for the party is to nominate somebody quickly, bring somebody up, because somehow they are getting the attention of the citizens. Okay, viewers, now let's go to other stories making round. George, you were talking about the Binance executive, Binance executive being let loose, and that was coming from the United States president calling to say, thanking our president for dropping the charges against the Binance executive. That's Gambaya. So, George, what do you know about that story again? Tell us what you know.
What we know is that the charges were dropped, but the diplomatic negotiation that took place, we never knew anything about that. But suddenly the charges were dropped. So now, with the thanks, the appreciation from Biden, will tell you what went on behind the scenes. It must have been negotiated, for the charges to be dropped, and that was actually abruptly dropped. So, and these are the things that we see here that happen sometimes, where unless you have that money, and unless you have the clout, and if it was a regular person that is doing this without a clout or without that kind of money, they would have ended up going to jail. So these are the difference between the haves and the have-nots. So a negotiation must have taken place for him to be released. If Biden is calling and thanking him, thanking our president for doing this. So we cannot put our finger on it. We can only speculate, but we know that something went on. We don't know what it is. That's all I know. I can say.
Good one. George. Thank you. Bidi, yes, you're smart. One thing is the guy is an American citizen.
Now, if you remember,
we know that American citizens are treated. I mean, American government don't play with their citizens abroad. So wherever they may be, whoever it may be, they go out to understand situations and do everything to free them. Tell us, Bidi, what do you know about Gambaya?
Yes. Biden, United States President, have thanked President of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for dropping the case between Tigran Gambaya, who was detained in Nigeria over money laundering, thanking Tinubu. Now that brings me back to when this Binance case was raining. In this platform, I made a comment which other people attacked me. I said, Binance case in Nigeria can never be successful without the involvement of Nigerian government and people that matters in the country. You remember that day, it was a very big controversy in this stage. I said it. Now, they have dropped him. Do you know what Binance did to Nigerian economy? These people messed us up. They messed up our economy. I said it. They can't have that successful interference in a sovereign state like Nigeria without the involvement of people that matters in the government. And it's obvious, it's showing. I said something here the other day. I said, we know how our president came into power and we know all the problem he was having. And our president went into an agreement with the Western world. They gave him something on the table. This is what we want. If you do all these things, we let every of your accusation go and we back you and you will rule. And he obliged to it. If you see what bank has been doing in Nigeria, the kind of policies they are bringing in Nigeria, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu is implementing, you know that the Western world is the problem Nigeria is having. They just drop that kind of money laundering. To them, it doesn't even mean the life that has been wasted, the economy that has been wasted is nothing, and they are thanking themselves. Well, that's what we wanted, Nigerians. That's what we wanted, and they are giving it to us. I don't have much to say.
have a lot to say. Tell us anything you can. Raji, there you go. The two leaders exchange pleasantries. Biden thanking Tinubu for his partnership and Nigerian partnership in this issue. And BD is telling us that this guy really rendered a lot of people broke. Many homes failed as a result of his business. What will you say, Raji?
I don't think the Binance guy wrecked any families. Which people actually are involved in money laundering? It's not the average person on the street. It's the people in government. and they know how they move their monies around. The monies they receive from ransoms and all those things. So it's all paddy government that we have, and we have a gangster in government as the president, and he's doing what gangsters do.
Sergeant and gangster. Sergeant and gangsterism.
He's always using the word gangster. Actually, that phrase, as I said, we were using that phrase in the initial time of the presidential campaign last year, because what we did here was we studied the APC government and so many, and it was likened to the Italian gangster family
way of governance.
And that's exactly how they do their thing. You know, there's this force, coercion, putting people in, threat and all that, using that to really launder money and all that. And it was working for them until the government came and squashed it.
Now, the former speaker of Nigeria who spent 5 years in the prison, who just came out, is he not still in money laundering? And now you're releasing someone just by negotiation, by talking.
Okay.
But, can we be careful here? Because number one, the case was in court. And then there has been a lot of, two sides of the stories about this particular situation. You can actually, it was alleged that this guy did money laundering and was being charged with it.
There's nothing.
But when you really look at it's an allegation, my dear. What are you talking about? Until they are found guilty, they are innocent. So don't do that. Let me finish what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this particular individual, if you are charging him for money laundering, are there cases, and I'm talking about direct cases where he moved money from Nigeria outside of the country that they know of? Because, remember, the other guy ran away. His partner ran away. And then he is the one that was caught. So, when you look at this whole entire thing, is it likely that a lawyer can come and study that case, can tell us the strength of that particular case? Because we have seen this happen so many times in Nigeria. They arrest somebody and they go looking for charges against the individual, rather than knowing the charges and then using the charges to arrest the person. So is it the same thing? Because we've seen it happen in our country before.
I think we should be clear about something.
Sir George,
it's not as if
let me remind you.
Hold on. Raji is talking. Go ahead.
It's not as if the Binance guy laundered money belonging to Nigeria. The man, they used his system to launder money. He's not criminally involved. It was his system. So the criminals are the people in government who are using the crypto
Thank you.
Yes. So
thank you. That's exactly the analysis that was brought up, by a lawyer earlier. So this is exactly it.
All right, gentlemen. Let's move on.
We all were in this country, and we saw how everything unfolded. Nigerian government actually dropped that laundering case against them. They dropped it. It was not. It's okay,
it's okay. Yes. I know the passion you bring to news updates, BD. Thank you. But gentlemen, let's move on. George, something is going well, and you said that last time. The aviation minister and the aviation ministry seems to be pulling up real strong. Festus Keyamo has said that he vows to end high airline mortality rate in Nigeria. That a lot of airlines come within few months, few years, bam, they close up again. So he has seen the reasons. He's doing his best, and this confirms George giving him that thumbs up when we were talking about reshuffling and bringing who's doing the job. So let's talk about Keyamo, gentlemen. Let's talk about the airline business, Nigerian Ministry of Aviation. What do you say? George will speak last because I know this is guy and he's excited to talk about him. So let's hear from Raji. Raji, is it true that Keyamo is some hard work there?
The major problem of the airline industry is first the taxes that the government imposes on them, and then more importantly, the cost of aviation fuel.
Okay.
Now, if they can get all the aviation fuel by arrangement with it will be perfect, because at the time the airlines were trying to find a way that they will be importing their own aviation fuel, because it is a very, very important factor in the business.
Very
Cost of
important
aviation fuel. Yes.
in the business.
If that cost is unstable, the business will collapse.
Thank you. So what he did is come up with a statistics of Nigerian domestic travel and all that. He said, we are one in Africa, the passengers, the flow of movement. He said a lot of things. And he said he was able to look at why is it that these airlines don't last? So far, Air Peace is not doing bad. BD, tell us.
Yeah,
what
he said so. He said so, and he said the statistics they gave, they said over 40 years we have lost 100 airlines, starting from Concord, Bayview, Senate, so many of them, so all of them have gone down. Now, from what Raji said and the analysis they gave, they pointed two major things that is the problem: taxes and aviation fuel. Now, when you look at those two things, it's in our hands. It's in the hands of Nigeria. We have crude. We produce this aviation fuel. Why have we decided to sell it in exorbitant prices to our airline? Now, why are we overtaxing our airlines? The truth is in our hands. Now, he has said it. We know how to give a lip service in this part of the world. It's not as if it's an international thing. Yes, international world bring their own. But if we in Nigeria decided to, that's part of thing my business summit addresses, enabling environment for people to do business in Nigeria. If Nigerian government decides to make aviation fuel available for the aviation aerospace, if they decided to reduce their tax, these things Festus Keyamo is saying, it has been drastically taken care of. But no, we are the government who always focuses on tax. And I won't blame us. Everybody will talk on what he believes. Our sitting president is a man of tax. Everything about him is tax. So that is where they have to meet with him, discuss with him, tell him, sir, President, let's leave the taxing now in aviation. Let's stabilize them. Let's bring the aviation fuel down for them. Let's stabilize it. We have the markets. We have the crowd. Focusing on Nigerians alone, we will make money. If we reduce these two things, the aviation family will stabilize. That is it.
That is it. George, I know you're waiting to speak. Yes, the minister looks like he's doing his job. And this also shows that when you put the right person at the right place, they deliver, So, but what we'll be having is putting the square peg on the round hole and having all these clueless arrangement. George, tell us, what do you know about Keyamo?
Well, I mean, he gave you analysis. That tells you that this is a man that wants to look into the analysis of the problem and to understand what the solutions can be. He gave you statistical analysis. He's saying that Nigeria, the route between Lagos and Abuja is more than 80% of what the flights that are taking place. Nigerians are the most traveled people in the world. They have taken advantage of us. And the reason why I believe that they have taken advantage of us is they wanted to make sure that there is no Nigerian aircraft or airways that are flying so that they can impose on us everything that they do. And if you travel any other place in the world, there are sales. Only with Nigeria, you will never find any type of special coming in or going out of Nigeria. It's been so long that this has been happening. And most of these international companies, listen to this. When Bidi was talking about taxes, she's right. Because you see, a lot of countries, what they do, they subsidize their airlines. And they subsidize them to the point of detrimental position to our own airlines, so that they can now fumble and then go out of business. So these people can continue to manipulate us and use us. So now I believe that the government, based on what Festus Keyamo is doing, Festus Keyamo is working on making sure that there are direct flights from Nigeria to Canada and to the US, and they're starting it. And they have already gone so far to do that. And it's going to be the first direct flight that doesn't stop anywhere else, just from Canada straight to Nigeria, from US straight to Nigeria. He's working diligently on that. And this is what tells you when a man is efficient in his ways. When he talks with confidence. The man was talking and he was, assuring this 10 years of Alin Onyema's APs that he would do whatever it takes to ensure that this company stays afloat and continues to prosper and to do. See the manipulation that took place when he came to to Britain. They would not give him any space at the main airport. They took him to Gatwick. And yet in there, they're trying to manipulate and to frustrate the heck out of him. And that's exactly the things we see. And one of the great things, let me tell you one great thing. He's threatened them, you continue with this, we will retaliate. He said it. And when he said it, that's when they started backing off.
Yes. And
so you see, and we have the power. Yes. So when it comes to the fuel that we're talking about, Dangote is already producing those fuels for us. They are. Okay. It's part of what they are producing. So now we have everything that we're supposed to have, according to what Billy just said. It's all in our hands. All we need to do is to activate them and make sure that they continue to go, in order for the people to get a little, let the poor people in Nigeria, rest for a little bit. And those that are traveling, let them rest.
We have what it takes.
There's still one aspect that we have to look at, and that is what they call the C check, where the plane will have to go for C check on a regular basis. That is a very, very expensive venture for every airplane that is flying international. There was a time when Nigeria wanted to set up a C-check center at MMA. I don't know what happened to it, as with all government ventures. And there was also a talk by private concerns that they needed to have. You have to have a C-check center in Africa. I think they have it in Ethiopia. I don't know whether the C-check, where any plane has to go for a regular check, especially if you are traveling international, so that you can certify insurance thing. Yes.
Thank you very much.
And because of listen to this though, the final thing I wanted to mention is the fact that we are being invited, all the airlines are being invited to Ireland. Okay. And then this is the very first time that they are, and that tells you how effective Festus Kayamo is. To have the whole airline proprietors and everybody to come there, let's have a meeting, and that's where they're going to meet all the Boeing 747 manufacturers and everything. They're going to have a meeting, and then we'll decide how they can be leasing these jets, which they have not been doing in the past. And part of the reason might have been that a lot of Nigerians, they go into this business and they lease these aircraft and they're unable to pay and eventually go bonkers. So now there's a renewed hope in this area with Festus Kayamo, and I give him several thumbs up for what he's doing. He's a fantastic young man, and continue, my brother.
Viewers, you are hearing
two. I give you several, 2 from me and 2 from Raj.
We're here on our Wednesday Global Africa update. Today is burning real hot. Yes, you've heard George and everybody. We have the population, we have the traffic, we have the people. So it's surprising that we're having these issues with our airlines not surviving. That's the question, and we've said it well. Now, the network has given us 6 more minutes. Let's crop it up with this information. There's this thing they call the off-season governorship election, off-season, and three states in Nigeria fall into that category. Ondo State is coming next. We've had Edo, we've had Ekiti. Now, Ondo State is coming on the 16th of November, not too long from now. Gentlemen, we will be putting our searchlight on Ondo State. Who's the man that will be there? Who will be taking on the helms of affairs of Ondo? Is he the present governor? Lucky Aye Tiwa
Ayedatiwa.
or some other new people. Yes, tell us, Raji. Lucky Ayedatiwa, is that the man
Yes.
that might come back again?
You see,
You know,
when you do an interpretation of that man's name, the man is lucky, and Ayedatiwa means that the word has become ours. As if there's a prophecy coming in, because he had a lot of issues with the late governor, and then with the party, we are trying to shunt him out. But now DTM, the word has now become his. And I wish him the best of luck.
Okay, so George, we have other parties there, but APC looks like they are trying to make sure they get that place again. Yesterday we saw APC appointing Akonde, Sanwo-Olu, Akpabio, and all of them to form as a subcommittee so they can really grab that state. George, you think they will grab that state?
You know what happened during Jonathan era? Asiwaju and our former president Buhari came together, and they joined forces together. You know what they're trying to do right now is, because there are no ideological differences between the political parties in Nigeria, it's all name only. You know, when they capture them in crime, they jump into the ruling party and they're safe. That's their refuge city there. So now, I honestly believe that in order to combat what is really going on, because if you saw what happened in Edo State, you will know that it was nothing but the APC government went and hijacked the election there. They did it, and they didn't care. It was wide open. They did it. It was clear. So now, all the political parties in Nigeria need to sit down and talk. Because you cannot have a major political party. Most of the PDP members crossed over to APC federally. They've crossed over because that's a safe haven for them. Whatever they do, they can get away with it. But right now, the time has come for the political parties to sit down and discuss. Put down all their names and put it in one basket in order for them to be a force to be reckoned with against the APC government. But I can tell you what, as it stands right now, Asiwaju will be there for 8 years. This 2027 election, the same thing that happened to Buhari when he was asked, "Oh, what if you lose in your second term?" He said, "I will not lose." Go and ask Asiwaju. Asiwaju will tell you, "I will not lose."
No, George, we're not talking of presidential now. We're talking of the governorship election in Ondo on the 16th. Let's hear BD.
Yeah, go ahead.
BD, go ahead.
You see, the truth is this, most times we Nigerians who don't like to accept the truth. The truth is this: APC is taking over that state. I've said it earlier and I'll still say it. With the kind of government that APC is running in Nigeria today, I think the best thing Nigerians should start doing is to start boycotting elections. Because I keep asking, what is the need of wasting the kinds of funds they waste in election? Because at the end, they will still take the states they want to take. You saw what happened in Edo State. Do you understand? The APC have devised a way of imposing themselves on Nigerians. So election don't count again. So do you understand? So it's going to happen in Ondo State. Except there's another word I used to say. Except Ondo. See, let me tell you the truth. APC are voter stealer. They are thieves. For you to defeat them, you have to learn how to steal more than them. And if you can't steal more than them, boycott election. That's just it. That's the truth.
All right, gentlemen, listen. It's been fun here. Also today we heard there will be the screening of the new ministers. Let's keep ourselves alert on that. Gentlemen, thank you. We've used up the time the network has given us. So Raji, put your eyes on Ondo for us. Ondo, November 16th. We'll be having live coverage from here. Also, we'll be looking at the Ghana election in December. We'll be looking at every other thing. George, Friday, we're coming to talk about United States. people setting the ballot boxes on fire. Can you imagine? We thought America has passed that fraudulent, criminal-minded time. So setting ballot boxes on fire is a new one now. But viewers, we have come, we've done it, and we're happy you were all through with us. Thank you, George. Thank you, BD. Thank you, Raji. Until we come again on Friday, God bless you all. Bye-bye.
SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.